You're listening to Hotepish with your host, Dwan B. Intelligent ish talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane. Political satire, celebrity and expert guests, information and entertainment, conversation and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door.
I'm unmuted. What up, y'all? Welcome here to Hotepish, intelligent ish talk, intelligent shit talk. On the website a little later on today, I'm gonna have my Hotepish beanies on for you cold foot motherfuckers out there. And where y'all at? I'm Larry with me in Texas. All you Louisiana South motherfuckers that's dealing with that cold weather, winter in November. You know, I ain't tripping here in LA because it's cold. Like, LA is hella cold right now. Like, LA is gonna be. It was 63 degrees yesterday, man. The sun was so bright. Like, you know, when you smoke weed, your eyes be dilated, and the sun was so bright, but it was so cold at 63 degrees here in LA. You know, I had to get my hoodie on. You know, like, I understand the rest of the country is going through a snowstorm or whatever, but you know, we pay the higher rent here in LA, you know what I mean? So we ain't doing that shit. 60 degrees is cold enough. And this kept my head warm. So for all you motherfuckers, all you frozen foot motherfuckers down south with snowshoes on and a pair of jeans and a leotard under your jeans and thermals and shit and 2 jackets, y'all can rock one of these Hotepish hoodies, you know what I mean? Get one of these. You want to fuck with it? Fuck with me, y'all. Shit, y'all, it's cold anyway, so hurry up and get yours. They ain't on the website yet, but they will be on the website tonight. Goddammit. So yeah, we got that in. I want to welcome in my whole ass co-host for the day, Mr. Larry Goodwell, looking like an Arab Russian in this motherfucker. How you doing, my brother?
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm good. Hey, it's cool that y'all weather. At least your titties weren't sweating yesterday. I'm glad to know that. That it was cool enough to where you could wear a hoodie, but just where your titties weren't sweating. Hey, I don't know if they can see you. Can they see you on it? Because all I see is that stupid ass profile picture on my end.
What you say?
I said I don't know if I don't ask people. Can they see you on the video? Because I can't see you on my end on my end of Skype.
Well, that's because you a dumbass. You can't see me on Skype. They see me on you. Y'all see me on YouTube?
Well, I mean, I'm just asking. I don't know. I don't know how you. I don't know how it works.
Check on YouTube, nigga.
Nah, I'm not.
YouTube, you can check the comments on YouTube too. They be in this room talking shit.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck them too.
Motherfucker, you got? Is that a shoe closet right there next to you?
No. Well, it's not a closet. There are some shoes right there, though. Some of my shoes right there.
Okay. Yeah. They say that they see you and they see me here in the chat room. Yeah, we good.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
So yeah, y'all get y'all hoodie and get y'all Scholars t-shirt. You know, we got everything at the Hotepish website. All the merchandise. And also, goddammit, support the Cash App. Support the Cash App. You know what I mean? Support the Cash App. We in here live. Let me see. I don't even have my Cash App even up. There it is. Support the Cash App. Y'all see it. Yeah. So yeah, so what's going on down there in Texas? I know you. How cold is it right now?
Shit. Last I checked, it was 30. It might be up to 30 something degrees. It was like 16 yesterday, and it was in the teens. We got snow. Different parts of Texas got snow. We didn't get that much snow in Houston, but we got some. But there are a lot of like what 2 point something million people in Houston without power right now. It's pretty fucked up.
God damn, you said it's 2 million people without power?
That's what they say.
And like, do y'all have like?
I'm sorry, in Texas. What they said it's like close to 5 million people in Texas without power. And it's like a couple million here without power.
Man, I hope y'all people without
power. They don't
power
know when this shit gonna.
I hope they got gas ovens.
Oh yeah, well there are people with gas, but there are a lot of people who ain't got no fucking electricity right now. So
yeah,
if y'all watching, man, y'all stay warm, dog. Stay warm, stay safe.
Yeah, y'all stay warm. Y'all stay warm because, you know, here in LA, this is what we woke up to in LA this morning. You know, we woke up to about a foot of sunshine. You know, as soon as the sun rose, you know what I mean. It was about a foot of sunshine here in LA when we woke up. You know what I mean? It's getting warm. You know, so you know, we feel y'all pain. We feel y'all, but I'm trying to figure out how the fuck Texas got blackouts and y'all got all the goddamn power. How the fuck did that happen?
Governor Abbott's crippled ass. Government here is crooked as fuck, man. Texas we all know it's a red. I mean, well, red, blue don't matter, but Governor Abbott's crippled ass has fucked over the whole state. It's not Reliant Energy or any of the local energy companies' fault. It's Governor Abbott's fault. He's crooked, and he's lining his pockets. That's just what it boils down to. He's lining his pockets. He's a crooked motherfucker, and I hope he freezes to death. And I hope his wheels freeze so he can't move nowhere.
What the fuck is up with Texas and y'all governors, man? Like before that, y'all had the dude that had the nigger head wrench. What was his name? Rick Perry?
Rick Perry.
And then before that, y'all had Bush.
I mean, shit. Yeah. I mean, I think all governors, I mean, shit. I don't know of any state that has excellent governors.
No state has excellent governors, but goddamn.
I mean, shit. I mean,
well,
I don't know.
I can't brag about California because
I was going to say y'all had Reagan and Schwarzenegger and Newsom. Ain't Newsom?
We did have Jerry Brown was dope though. The one that just came out of office both times. When he was in the office in the 70s, then he got back in office again while you was living out here.
Yeah, my cousin worked for him.
He regulated that shit. I like Brown. Like at the end of the day, no government is for black people. But as far as the overall whole of California, because I remember what that shit was with funding was Schwarzenegger fucked shit up. And Brown brought that back. And then California elected the motherfucker who looked like Terry Silver from Karate Kid 3. You should never elect a motherfucker with a shag.
He looked like Osteen's hip cousin.
Hey, dude. Hey, Gavin Newsom does look like Joel Osteen. Yeah.
He looks like a hipper Joel Osteen. Like he don't fool with Christianity. Like he's more spiritual and he dresses a little better, but they still look alike.
Joel Osteen and Gavin Newsom look like two dudes that go around to retirement villas skimming old women out their bread.
Hey, they finally, speaking of Osteen, man, he learned his lesson after Harvey. They said he's letting people in to warm up, letting people in his church.
Okay, that's what's up. Joel Osteen letting people in the church, doing what God told you to do in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Damn shame to the people to do it. It should have been God that told them.
It should have been God, but whatever.
Yeah, we gonna get into it. We're gonna talk a little bit about, Draymond Green, some shit that what he did. Then we're gonna talk a little bit about Kamala Harris tweet. Yeah, for you Voteps, we gonna be on Kamala Harris. We gonna be on Joe Biden. We gonna remind black people who vote out of fear of one, the bullshit that they lead you into. That's oftentimes worse than the fear you're running from. So yeah, we for those of you, I'm just letting you know right now, yes, we gonna tie all this shit in together because it all ties in together. You know, there's a reshuffling of the social order going on right now. There's a reshuffling of the deck, and it's happening on all kinds of different fronts. It's not just happening top down; it's also happening bottom up. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people that have been on the bottom that's not cool with being on the bottom anymore. And the cool thing about the position on the bottom, yeah, everybody steps on you, but the minute the bottom decides to move just a little bit, it fucks everything up above it. And the people on the bottom are starting to move a little bit. And so we want to notate that in different areas. And know for you, because look, first of all, let me give a quick disclaimer. For the dumb motherfuckers watching, what's up, CT Reed in the chat room? What's up, Molly Millie? What's up, Von Crenshaw? We got smart people up here in the chat room, but it's always a few dumbasses that walk up in there, and you'll be talking about one or two examples, and they'll be like, well, it ain't happening everywhere. I'm just quick disclaimer for you dumb motherfuckers, all right? We understand that all things ain't shifting at once, and it's not going to be no miraculous one thing that just changes how everything works. We just point out little incremental things that happen because it's a bunch of incremental changes that lead to a whole change. A lot of people look at the March on Washington as the civil rights movement, not understanding it was the years of small wins leading up to that moment that led to that moment. That's how it always works. Whenever it's something big, it's a bunch of small things that happen on the way up to that big thing. And so here at Hotepish, that's part of what I do here, is what we do here. We track the small wins and the small wins and the small victories and the small things that lead to the bigger thing. And that's what we're here to do. So if you're one of those idiots that expecting this show to solve all problems, go somewhere else, nigga. We got Chicago in the house. We got somebody from England in the house. The shit. Salute to England, goddammit.
All right.
What's up, Lovelace? What's up, Conlito? Yeah. So yeah, let's get into it. First off, let me start off by playing this video from Draymond Green that we're gonna play it, then we're gonna discuss it. For those of us, a quick setup. And for those of you who aren't really into sports, this is still a good episode for you to watch because we're just using sports as the canvas to talk about a larger issue. So this isn't necessarily about sports per se, but we will be talking a lot about sports and how sports are covered. But these things tie into other parts of society. So open your mind up and follow us on this journey here. I'm gonna play this and then I'm gonna get your thoughts, Larry, on what Draymond is saying.
Yes, sir.
I'm setting it up for people watching. Draymond's basically talking about the NBA, how they cover when a player does something. Basically, it's a big old hoopla that happens. But when the team does some bullshit, everybody stay quiet. Sort of a theme that I've been talking about a lot here on this show when I talk about how these motherfuckers, how they cover black people, and especially the black American players, and hold them motherfuckers to a higher standard than the Pope. You know what I mean? So here we go. Watch this video and this clip, and we'll be right back at it. Let me make sure I got my browser audio up. Unmute, nigga.
I love how you talk to yourself.
Hell yeah, motherfucker! I talk to that real shit to myself. Let me. Okay, cool. We good. Let me tell me y'all in the chat room if y'all can hear this.
Andre Drummond before the game, sit on the sideline, then go to the back, and then come out in street clothes because a team is going to trade him is bullshit. Because when James Harden asked for a trade and essentially dogged it, I don't think there was no surprise or there's no one's going to fight back that James was dogging it his last days in Houston. But he was castrated for wanting to go to a different team, and everybody destroyed that man. And yet a team can come out and say, oh, we want to trade a guy, and then that guy is to go sit. And if he doesn't stay professional, then he's a cancer, and he's not good in someone's locker room, and he's the issue. And we've seen situations of Harrison Barnes getting pulled off the bench. You know, DeMarcus Cousins finding out that he's traded in an interview after the All-Star game. And we continue to let this happen. But I got fined for stating my opinion of what I thought should happen with another player. But teams can come out and continue to say, oh, we're trading guys, we're not playing you. And yet we're to stay professional. At some point, as players, we need to be treated with the same respect and have the same rights that the team can have. Because as a player, you're the worst person in the world when you want a different situation. But a team can say they're trading you, and that man is to stay in shape. He is to stay professional, and if not, his career is on the line. At some point, this league has to protect the players from embarrassment like that. You know, we talk all of this stuff about you can't do this, you can't say that publicly. If you say that publicly, you're fine. Anthony Davis got fined, I think, $100,000 or something like that for demanding a trade publicly. But you can say Andre Drummond's getting traded publicly, and we're looking to trade him publicly, and he's to stay professional and just deal with it. But then when Kyrie Irving say, oh, my mental health is off, everybody go crazy about that too. Do you not think that affects someone mentally? As much as we put into this game to be great.
That was Draymond Green, triple single from the Golden State Warriors. I like Draymond because Draymond be saying some real shit, but you know what I mean. And then people will laugh and say, "Hey, what does he know? Look at his stats." Look, man, it don't matter. Look, Draymond saying some real shit. Part of the reason why I brought Larry on for this particular show, and I'm glad to hear one part of the reason why Larry's on, because his ass is frozen in the house and can't go no goddamn where. Oh, that shit makes me feel good knowing your ass is locked in. But
fuck you.
Goddamn. But the other reason why I brought Larry on, because Larry, like, for those of y'all know, we spend a lot of time in and around NBA circles. Very, very, very close. I mean, yeah, literally in the gym, in the room, all that stuff. So we got to see up front really how a lot of these players are covered versus how they really are as people. Larry, talk about what Draymond said and how you. First of all, just give us your breakdown of what he said and versus what you've seen being so close to NBA environments.
Man, Draymond made me want to bring back my old joke about the NBA, man. I've always said that the way the NBA views its athletes, it don't stand for National Basketball Association. It stands for nigga be appreciative, because that's exactly how they treat the athletes. Like, be appreciative that you're 6'8", you can run and jump, and that we allow you to play in this league. But don't get to talking about real shit, because we're gonna paint you in a certain light. And I mean, whether you like Draymond or not, I mean, I love Draymond off the court. I'm not a big fan of him on the court because he ain't a Rocket. But what he's saying is real. Like, I've lived it. We lived it. We actually saw up close. We saw an athlete who was cut midway through the season, and in 24 hours he was picked up by another team. He was told, look, we don't want you anymore. You got to get up out of here. We actually bought him out. In 24 hours, this man had to pack up all of his stuff. I'm talking about all his stuff, relocate to another city, and then learn an entire new system within 24 hours. That's what they expect you to do. And then when a player like Kyrie says, hold on, man, I got mental health issues, let me just take a break. They bring up all the shit about him being a flat earther and all that. They bring up all that as if that has something to do with his mental health. Like, everybody sees the glitz and glamour, the money, the commercials, all that, and they think it's such a great life. And to be honest, it is. It is a great life. I would much rather do that than do what I do for a living now. But there's also some bullshit to it. It's a lot more bullshit in the NBA than it is working at your job. Because not only do they have to deal with the stuff we got to deal with, they got to deal with all kind of other shit. People jumping in their business, people interrupting them eating dinner with their families and all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, everything you said is 100% on, like everything.
You mentioned Kyrie because you're right. They got on Kyrie's ass for one. When Draymond mentioned something, he was talking about how they got on Kyrie's ass when he wanted a mental health break. You've been around Kyrie Irving. Really, you was around him most of his rookie season.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about Kyrie.
Interesting dude.
Okay.
I mean, very, very interesting dude. He probably could have gotten an academic scholarship to Duke. Like, he didn't need basketball. He's a very, very smart guy. Hilarious, very funny. But I don't care. I don't care how he sounds to you. I don't care the stuff. Kyrie's a real nigga. Mm-hmm. Kyrie Irving. Look at his first name is Kyrie. Like, he's a real nigga. And I mean, I just hate the way they pay these athletes. I mean, they do so much for the league. I mean, if it wasn't for them, there would be no league. And then the minute a black man opens his mouth and voices his displeasure, they paint him in a certain light. And it's the way it's always been. It's going to always be like this. And that's why I have no problem with athletes like Draymond, stand up and say something.
Yeah, like, because I remember how it is. I remember being in Cleveland when that team really sucked after LeBron left.
Mm-hmm.
And I would see some of the stuff on the day-to-day that they would do on the off days for the NBA. And you're right, Draymond's very on point with it being unfair. Because you see these teams, they tanking it. Like, they're tanking it.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll put a player out there in a situation, and they'll. I remember, like, when I was in Cleveland, the year before Kyrie came, they had, and this before Kevin Love, this is like the year after LeBron left, and the year before Kyrie was drafted. I mean, they would put some of the worst combinations of players out there on the floor, and it was like you knew these niggas was taking it to get Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
When you saw some of it's like your best. You're really gonna close the game with Alonzo G as your best one-on-one player on the court, nigga. For real. And I'm not dissing him, but that wasn't his game.
No.
And you knew it was like, okay, yeah, these motherfuckers want Kyrie, and they gonna do whatever the fuck it take. And I remember they had like a 22-game losing streak that year. And I went out and I flew out to Cleveland, and I saw like 6 of those games during that streak. And in between games, these motherfuckers would still have to go film an NBA Cares commercial. Did you ever go on one of those NBA Cares commercial trips?
Yes.
Talk about that bullshit.
Dog, the NBA don't care. Like, I don't know, they don't. They want y'all to think they do, but man, the NBA don't care. Like, it's all some bullshit, man. I don't even know why they even have that stuff, man. Because I mean, dog, they don't.
And let me tell you how weak this commercial I was in on went. They were going to like the Cleveland Children's Hospital, right? They got blown out the night before. Game was over, 10 o'clock local Cleveland time. Snowing outside. And this is the game before. I'll tell you when this was. This was the game before when LeBron made his first return to Cleveland. Mm-hmm. Remember I flew out there for that game?
Mm-hmm.
LeBron James' first game as a member of the Miami Heat back in Cleveland. And it was snowing that week. And the game before that was against the Boston Celtics. And this was the KG, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen Boston Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
The year before you was out there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And, they had just got blown out by like 600 points. I swear Ray Allen made about 73s that game. Kevin Garnett had like 16 blocks, nigga. And they got creamed. The next morning, like, okay, the game's over at 10. You go to eat after the game. And we weren't back in the crib until, we didn't even go out that night. We weren't back in the crib, not even going out, just eating about midnight. Midnight 30, 12:30. Then had to be up and out the house by like 9 a.m. because they had to film a fucking NBA Cares commercial. We go to the Cleveland hospital. We was in that motherfucker literally 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 20 minutes. Walk up in there. They sign a couple autographs for some kids. You know, they get something like my Hotepish hoodie. They get some shit like this. Sign it. Hand it to the little kid. Take a picture next to the kid like 20 minutes later, these niggas is gone. The NBA, when they leave, they can't quite go back home. They had to go back to the facility for film study.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next night is when LeBron James returns to Cleveland. Big game, big game, big game. I'll never forget. I was in the gas station and I had my LA ID when I was paying for something with my debit card. They were like, "Why are you here from LA?" I was like, "Man, I just came to see LeBron James, come back and play against the Miami Heat." And it was this white trucker dude. He said, look, you going to the game tomorrow? You tell that motherfucker LeBron James, if you see him, I said to go to hell. Nigga, they was so goddamn mad at LeBron.
Man.
That whole city was turned up. The whole city was turned up. I said all that to say, I sit down about at the first commercial national timeout, that's about the 6-minute mark of the first quarter. I look up on the screen, they got the whole NBA Cares commercial we filmed yesterday in 20 minutes playing as if these niggas spent all goddamn day at these hospitals with these paraplegic kids. Making the NBA look good, taking time out these niggas' day, and then turn around if one of those same players who's tired from having to go through that bullshit for the NBA, shoot around and then come back. The Cavs got trounced by the Miami Heat is what I'm saying. They got their asses ran through. And then they had to turn around and turn on the news that night and listen to the news and the media talk about how bad these players are, how much these players suck, how they can't get it together, how you're not going to be in the NBA next year. And I'm thinking like, hold on. First off, you got a bad combination of players. You have no one that can, your best ball distributor is Ramon Sessions, and that's not good if he's your best ball distributor because he's looking for his buckets. Like, for real, put these players in a really bad situation, make them do all this shit on their off day for you so you can look good as an NBA so that you care. Turn around and put them out there against the best team ever created at the time, and then talk shit about them when they lose. That's fucked up.
Man, I went on, so I didn't go on any NBA Cares commercials in Cleveland. I went the next year. The year after that for the Clippers.
Yeah.
And I will never forget, it was myself, your best friend, I'm not gonna say any names, the starting center and the starting power forward who jumped over a car one time. And we were all in the back, and all three of them were like, they had their heads down. We were sitting at the table, they had their heads down. They had somebody go get us some coffee. Me and the starting center had a cup of coffee. And the power forward said, "I swear to God, if I didn't have to do this shit, I would still be in the bed." And the starting center said, "I don't understand why they make us do this shit. Everybody knows what the deal is." And then 10 minutes later, Security walks us out. They're serving. They have on gloves, plastic gloves, the lunch lady, hair nets, and all that shit. And they're serving meals to homeless people. And like the kids are like going. It's actually homeless children. The children. It was cool because we got to be around some kids. And I got to see their faces brighten up. But man, them boys didn't give a shit about them kids. They was only there because they had to be. And my thing is, why have somebody do something like that, something that charitable, if it's not even in their hearts to do it? Like they make them do it.
And I'm not trying to be a woe is me person with this, but when I saw the other side firsthand, what the players go through, it made me get another respect for them.
Yep.
First of all, we got 212 people in here and only 97 likes. Like this video right now and share it, please.
Like it and share it, shit.
Y'all getting the stories. See, a lot of times, look. I'm talking basketball because a lot of these niggas y'all listen to talk about basketball, they can only tell you what ESPN said. They can only tell you what somebody that they think they know think that they saw. You listening to two niggas who for years seen this shit up close with our own goddamn personal eyes. So this ain't no conjecture. This isn't someone told me something that I found out and figured out. Nope. You listen to niggas who's actually in the locker room. And I don't talk about that side of that era of my life much on this show because there's more to talk about than fucking basketball. But every now and again, I got to go back in that bag and bring out these actual firsthand stories. And it's funny because I do remember one time with the Clippers. I remember going on an NBA Cares commercial with the Clippers once. And they had to go to some school over on the east side, like in East LA. You were with me. We were together.
I know. I remember.
And they had like a DJ out there, and they was like, and the niggas like was actually having, for the most part, they was having fun that day.
Yeah.
They were having fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But still, why is it that they have fun because it's basketball? They're there with the kids. There's no extra money for this. These motherfuckers, when the season is going on, NBA players on an average day during the season, they make it a day a week to themselves. Like, if you work a 9 to 5, you get Saturday and Sunday. And let's just tell the truth, you mail it in on Friday. Don't nobody really work hard on Friday. And hell no. And on Monday,
I work hard on Thursday.
Nigga, yeah. And on Monday, you don't really start to tune in to work until maybe about 11 o'clock. And then it's lunchtime. The only days you really put in work is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday morning. Not even Thursday afternoon. If an NBA player has a bad game, his face is plastered all across the media for millions to see.
Yep.
They talking about his life. They talking about everything that can go wrong. And I'm looking like, well, what if that NBA player was allowed to fucking stay home yesterday? But he had to go and put on a fake smile to go and DJ for some kids and play basketball at a public school on his off day. And I was thinking like, man, these motherfuckers put in so much work away from the camera that we don't see. All people see is the games. You see a 48-minute game and you don't see all the work. So I'm bringing this all up for a point here. My whole point of talking about all this and showing you the other side is the fact that Draymond is now speaking up. He's spoken out against, he made a point that, like what he said, we all saw it. We all saw it back then. Because I remember that was the same year as the NBA lockout when I was in
11-12.
11-12, yeah. That was the same year as the lockout. And we saw during the lockout how they reshuffled how these players are paid. You know what I mean? They really demonized and vilified the players, for going through what they was going through. And we saw it then. And and so like now you see the players back then didn't necessarily want to speak up. There was one person that did speak up, but they didn't really give him too much attention. And that was Kobe Bryant.
Oh, hell yeah. He spoke up so much that there were certain athletes that were mad at him. You're
right. They were mad at Kobe.
They were mad at Kobe. Signed 3 years for 90. You can sit down. You don't live like we do. I'm like, man, y'all shut up, man. This man trying to do something.
They was mad at Kobe for wearing a suit because these niggas, remember they had them stupid ass t-shirts on and they were all trying to come in solidarity. And Kobe was like, man, fucking t-shirts. I'm putting on a suit, nigga. This is business.
Yep.
But Kobe said, I remember he said this. He said, players shouldn't take less money. It was the owners who got together and decided that they want to put a cap on how much they spend. There's no cap on the revenue. There's no cap on the money that they bringing in. But there's a cap on how much they can spend, on how much a player can make. He was like, players should take all the money that they're worth, and then make the owners put it back on the owners. And then they turned around and just vilified Kobe so bad, talking about him taking up so much money. Niggas missed the whole message and went over their head. So now you got Draymond Green out here telling the truth, and surprisingly, Stephen A. Smith coon ass agreed with him.
Dog, when you told me to watch the video, I was, whenever you tell me to watch something on Stephen A. Smith, or whenever I see his face on television or on my phone, I'm like, let me see what this motherfucker got to say. When you told me to watch that video, I hit play, and I was waiting on it. I was waiting on it. I'm like, wait a minute. And the video ended. I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on, man. He agreed. He finally said some real shit. It shocked the hell out of me.
He got to say some real shit every now and again to maintain his credibility. The fact that Stephen A. Smith said some real shit mean the next time something politically happened with a black person, he about to be cooning his ass off.
Man, them tap shoes gonna be shiny as hell on ESPN, boy.
That nigga gonna have the little spoons on his knees and he be clapping them spoons.
Dog, yeah, man.
They always say some real shit every now and again to maintain their credibility. But yeah, like Draymond made a good point, and hopefully with these NBA players, they rally behind Draymond. For the NBA players that's watching this show, I know some do. I need y'all to don't let Draymond be out there on his own with this. Yeah, he's averaging a triple single. Yeah, he's not the player that they hyped him up to be years ago. We knew that. But that don't matter. He's saying some real shit. And the way NBA players are covered, that's why part of the reason why I don't even watch the NBA anymore. Like, I watch games, but I don't watch SportsCenter or Fox Sports. I don't even watch halftime shows. Because all these shows are now is retired athletes hating on current athletes, and with a white guy sitting there lording over and watching all the Negroes tear each other down. And then when it's a black American player, they can dissect his game 360 degrees. Oh, you can't be MVP because you don't play good defense. It don't matter that James Harden averaged 34 points a game. You know what I mean? We're going to give MVP to this guy who's not from America. You know what I mean? They hold him to a lesser standard. Luka's an MVP candidate. He ain't played an ounce of defense. The goddamn James Harden looked like Ron Artest compared to Luka when it comes to defense.
And I'm going to go on record by saying this, man. James Harden is not a horrible defender at all. I watched the Houston Rockets damn near all my life. I've watched 80% of his games. He's not a horrible defender. It's just that when people make a highlight, like somebody can make a highlight tape of Draymond Green and you think he was a fucking Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
But you can, with the same way you can make highlight tapes, you can make low light tapes. So a lot of the times they record his fuck offs on defense that every player has, even LeBron. Everybody takes plays off. I've seen LeBron
takes whole weeks off at a time.
Yeah. But you can put together a low light tape on somebody and put it on ESPN, and all of a sudden there's a narrative created. He's a horrible defender. I've seen James have game-winning stops. I've seen it. You've seen it too.
He had a block in the playoffs last year. Remember in the playoffs?
Absolutely.
To end the series, he had a block shot. And they'll still say he don't play defense.
Shit, James Harden locked up in the All-Star game last year in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So, man, whatever.
So it's just one of those things where you see the way players are covered. It's like I can't watch the way I've long stopped watching the way these players are covered. I'm still watching basketball because I fucking love basketball. Shit, I love the chess match that is played out on the court. I don't get involved in the fandom. I'm a Lakers fan, but I'm not even that intense like on the Lakers as I used to be. I just really want to see a good game. I want to see a great chess match play out on the court. But the bullshit that they be doing on the sidelines, that shit, like, it's on the players to stop accepting it. You know, that Kevin Durant's been stopped accepting it. That's what I'm talking about now. Like, when players leave the plantation and decide they're not going to talk to the people who cover them in a fucked up way, they get really vilified. Kobe's a person that started that way, way back when his rape case happened back in 2003. He decided that he was only going to have certain people that he talked to at the LA Times and release the rest of his information on his own website.
Mm-hmm.
And he had Ramona Shelburne over at ESPN that he talked to. And because he made that decision, Kobe became public enemy number one. I don't care. I remember when he scored 81 points. You had niggas on ESPN talking about something, but he didn't have any assists. Well, he would have had 10 assists if Kwame Brown caught the fucking passes for layups that he gave him, which made him explode for the 81 points.
And he's a shooting guard. Like you don't never criticize a running back for having 100-something yards rushing because he's a running back. Kobe's a shooting guard. He's supposed to shoot. Like he's not supposed to have 14, 15 assists. It's cool if he does, but he's out there to get buckets.
Period.
I hate that. I hate that stupid shit.
And this was before, like, today's era of basketball is more positionless. But back then was straight position basketball. If you're a shooting guard, goddammit, you better shoot.
Yep.
And so we saw that. Then we saw Kevin Durant defect a few years ago in Oklahoma City when he had that injury, and he saw the Oklahoma City media start vilifying him. He defected and started not fucking with the media. You see how they talk about him. He's the best player in basketball. They still can't even mention his name as far as NBA MVP. He's been the best player in the NBA for about 6 seasons now. And you're never going to hear his name come up as in the MVP candidate. Like nigga, we gave you your one when you are our media darling. It don't matter how dope you are. We're going to make up any excuse to not put you in that MVP consideration. It's happening with Russell Westbrook. And so, but the cool thing I see right now is the players, more and more players are starting to speak up. So hopefully for the players who watch this show and for the friends of players who watch this show, get to your people. Let them know, man. Support Draymond Green. Don't leave that nigga out there on the island. These media people ain't shit. They just jealous ass motherfuckers. They wish they had your position. These media motherfuckers these white boys in the media was the dopest hooper in their middle school class. You know what I mean? They thought they had a chance until they went to their high school and played against the black high school on the other side of town. And they saw a nigga named Travion drop 47 points on their ass 3 days after getting out of juvenile detention. And they realized back then that they wasn't going to make the NBA, so they became dope writers. These are the motherfuckers covering the NBA.
I'm gonna tell you what else what I really love, because you know I'm a little bit older than you, D. Fucking, I'm a lot older than you. So I remember how athletes were off the court. Like whenever they would be interviewed, they would put on, "Hi, my name is such and such," and they would put on that act, that whatever, that white boy shit.
Mm-hmm.
But then you talk to them off the court, and they sound like you and I right now. So recently, dog. And I want to give Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, I want to give them all the props in the world for starting that All the Smoke podcast, because it gives athletes, I know you watched it. I know people who are watching this have watched that. You don't see athletes with that bullshit on there. They cussing, they talking about they being themselves. And I don't think the media they don't want that. They don't want these role models that all these little white kids and all these kids around the world look up to. They don't want them to be themselves in public. Like, hey, nigga, put on your mask in your interviews and be yourself away from when the camera's off, because we don't want these little kids worshiping a black man, acting, sounding, walking, talking like a black man.
And you smoked weed with Stack Jack a few times, haven't you?
Once.
Once?
It was one time. That one night at Greystone.
We've all smoked weed with Matt Barnes. Me, you, and Matt smoked together.
Yeah, and yeah, oh yeah, Matt. I mean, and I'm only bringing them. Well, we can only talk about them because they're retired. Well,
and they're retired and they're open with it. We can't talk about everybody we done smoke weed with in the NBA. So a lot of these niggas are still playing.
Let's just say this: Cleveland, Boston, and LA for 2 seasons, and I've partaken with members of each of those teams.
Like,
a lot of them.
I've flown out to Charlotte, Cleveland, Minnesota, Dallas. I'm not even going to include the All-Star weekends. I'm not even going to talk about. I've been to about 8 All-Star weekends. Yeah, here in LA, because everybody come to LA. But yeah, we I remember it used to be funny, them Clipper games. We come in, me and Larry would come in, we'd be in the friends and family room. Because the friends and family room had the food, nigga. They had the spread, man. Nigga, that friends and family room food at the Staples Center, salute to y'all.
Wow.
God damn, that shit was good. Me and Larry would get to the game started at 7:30. Me and Larry, we get there for about 6.
Yep. That was smoke at your house on the way to the game in the parking lot, going to the friends and family room, then go back out to the parking lot.
You're right, because we smoke here at the house. We smoke in the car on the freeway on the way to Staples Center. We smoke once we get to Staples Center. You're right. Mm-hmm. Eat some of that good ass food, and then go outside and smoke again before the game.
Yep.
And Matt Barnes would come in to the friends and family room sometime before the game, and he would see me and Larry's eyes looking like this border y'all see up here, red than the motherfucker. And he'd be like,
"That nigga would be
man,
mad.
Fuck y'all! I still got 2 more drug tests."
So you remember that time we went to that dinner, and me and you stepped outside? He was like, "I mean, where y'all going?" And we're like, "We're going outside." He was like, "Fuck!" And then we came.
Yeah. It was some stupid ass Clippers team dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Was it at that dumbass restaurant?
It wasn't at that restaurant. It was another one. It wasn't at that particular restaurant.
Okay,
you talking about the one in Beverly Hills? You talking about the one in Beverly Hills? No. It was another one. It wasn't, no, because...
Oh, this was at LA Live right across the street from Staples Center. Was it that
LA Live. Yeah, it was at LA Live. And we walked outside and we walked back in. He was like, "Man, fuck y'all been." And we told him. He was mad. That's when he just got to tell us. That's when he got to spilling the beans. Like, "I got 2 more tests left, but that's all right. I got 2 peas at the crib." Like, "Damn, you got 2 pounds at the crib?" He's like, "I got 2 peas at the crib for the off season." Like, God damn, man.
And then it's a thing in the NBA that after the last drug test of the year day. Tell them about that goddamn day.
Man,
final drug test day in the NBA?
Well, and it usually takes place the last week of the regular season. And once everybody's had their last piss test, they throw a party.
Yes.
And I was fortunate enough to attend 2 of them. They didn't have we weren't in Cleveland for that party, but I went to the one in Boston and I went to the one in LA.
Yeah.
And boy, let me tell you something. Foggy.com. It was so foggy. It was wild.
And
it was awesome.
Tell the truth, people. That's why playoff games are so goddamn good. All the players are high.
You've always heard, well, in the game slows down in the playoffs because teams get more tactical and strategic. No, the game slows down because everybody's high. That's why it slows down. Everybody's thinking more. It ain't because of some shit about the playoffs. It's because niggas be high.
And
that's what it is.
And it's that first smoke after months. You know, that first, you high half the day your first time in some weed after. I remember that game 1, one of the years, I ain't gonna say which year, but game 1 of the playoffs, this nigga Matt Barnes probably had like 47 points at halftime. He didn't have that many, but remember he made like 3 straight threes.
No, that was the last week of the regular season.
Oh, yeah.
They played against Sacramento. They were on the road because you remember he had 18 and 19 at the half. and they interviewed him right before he went in the locker room. And this was maybe a week after you and him had that conversation at that restaurant, because we were like, man, Matt is balling. And when he looked in that camera and me and you looked at each other, we was crying laughing.
I remember that one, but not just that. I remember the first playoff game. When he was balling. Yeah. Then when the timeout, when they went in for halftime, we were right above the tunnel. We were sitting right there next to the tunnel.
I'm talking about we were there. Yes.
When we were there, and Matt, he looked at both of us and gave us eye contact. And
like, yep, I'm there with y'all.
Hey, dog. But yeah, we just, we seeing, these things have always gone on, but you're starting to see a reshuffling of the deck. You're starting to see the players speak up more. And I want to salute Draymond Green for speaking up. I want to salute any player that supports him, because it is unfair. Let these motherfuckers just hoop. I mean, these are the physical gods of the planet. They're here to show you what you can do as a human on your highest levels of physicality. Take the inspiration from it and move on. You know what I mean? But so I was really glad to see. I was really glad to see. Him say that. Somebody asked me, what did we do in the league? No, we didn't do anything in the league. Like, look, motherfucker, I'm an LA nigga. You know how many LA niggas make the NBA? Shit, it's just, people, motherfucker. People. I didn't have no NBA league job. No, I didn't have a job in the NBA. Nigga.
Didn't have a title. No, I wasn't employed by the NBA.
No title. Nah. But yeah, so we talking about, reshuffling of the deck overall, and how things are changing, and how the people on the bottom are starting to stand up. And that's a beautiful thing. Somebody in Dr. Sin said, Jalen Rose said Detroit's doing him a favor. Look, Jalen Rose works for the NBA, all right? You got to remember, when you're talking about your sports announcers, ESPN, TNT, Fox Sports, it don't matter. They all work for the NBA. Now, they will play some good cop, bad cop. They will have one of the anchors take the player's side and have the other just for conversation, because if you want to keep people's attention, you do it with opposing viewpoints. You know what I mean? You do it with argument. You do it with clash. So for marketing purposes, they will have one person maybe, sometimes two, take the player's side. But when you listen to the rest of these niggas talk, like Jalen Rose and the rest of these dudes that's going to have these comments, you got to realize they work for the NBA. It's their job to make the NBA look good.
Yeah.
And that's what we're dealing with when we're dealing with the national media, when we're dealing with the sports media. I remember when player X, went to that university at Syracuse for the ESPN broadcast school. When I'm not gonna mention no names, but player X, who's on ESPN now, I remember when he went to there's a broadcast university that ESPN works through, and it's out of Syracuse University. This is like a 6-week course that teaches players that are striving to do media one day. They all have to go through that, and teach them how to present themselves, how to talk on camera, basically how not to be the dumbass that they've been up until that point. That's what the university does. And I remember when X-Player was in that camp, I remember him telling me, he was like, yo, they made it very clear. It's our job to promote whoever the NBA basically has its money behind. That's what this is about. So we have to promote Jordan, and we have to promote LeBron. Jordan and LeBron. Now you can argue you don't like LeBron, but you can't go too hard on LeBron, because the NBA learned his lesson. Remember when he lost in 2009 to the Orlando Magic, and he was getting like 40 points in 3 quarters, but not shooting at all in the 4th quarter? And he crumbled, and he was biting his nails on the bench, and Orlando won. Magic Johnson and a lot of those NBA anchors really, really laid into LeBron. And after that, they basically started telling the announcers, hey, look, this is our cash cow. You can't do this. So for everybody that would come to that Syracuse University ESPN broadcasting school, they learned right away, you have to big up the people that the NBA sponsors has its most money behind. And if you do have a criticism, it has to be a light criticism. This shit's controlled.
And I'm gonna go one step further because I remember this conversation. It was all three of us. It was myself, you, and Player X in an SUV. We were parked in front of ESPN Sports Zone, Fan Zone, whatever that downtown shit is, and we were having a conversation. And Player X, who absolutely could not stand LeBron, hated his guts, hated his guts, told you and I, hey, well, shit, if they gonna pay me, I'm shit LeBron. He gonna be my best friend.
But mind you, this is the same player who, when they had a chance to go to Miami, chose Boston because of the disdain for LeBron. Now, Andy Wade.
Yeah.
But now when you turn on ESPN or Fox, this same dude is LeBron's top 5 ever. LeBron is the greatest. And I'm like, hey, remember that time after a game when they played against the Heat?
I knew you were going to bring that up. And he was mad, and you wanted me to shut up because all you wanted to do was go home. And I said that he wasn't going to do what he said he was going to do, and he went and did it. Is that the game you're talking about?
The game that he said he's talking about how he wanted to do. No, he wanted to say something to Wade and LeBron in the Staples Center tunnel, and you were like, you ain't.
What he really wanted to do was he really wanted to say something to Chris, because CP was talking to them because they're all homeboys. Like, they homeboys. So what? They just played against each other. They boys. And he was mad because they lost, and he was really mad because he didn't get no burn. So he was mad, and we walked to the truck, and they kind of looked at him like, man, fuck you. And he was pissed, and we got in the truck, and he got to run in his mouth. I ought to go slap him. I'm like, what nigga go do it?
Go do it. Shit.
We walked right past him and came out with an umbrella or something like that. Like he forgot something in there. I'm like, boy, I thought you had, but now.
He walked right past him. Hey, it's funny because in the chat room, Kenneth Berry said, obviously Kendrick Perkins. No, it's not Kendrick Perkins, but it's funny too because that was the same day that Kendrick Perkins got knocked out.
By Zebo. Yep.
There was a game. We weren't, now, for disclosure, I was not there. I did not see this happen. But after this Clippers Heat game that Larry and I are talking about right now, all the players start getting text messages from other players.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, yo, this nigga Zebo, Zach Randolph just knocked out Kendrick Perkins was it in Memphis?
It was in OKC.
Oh, it was in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
A game, this nigga knocked.
Because you remember, a couple weeks before that, Memphis played the Clippers, and Zebo wanted to whoop Blake, and Blake bitched out like he usually does. He played like a hoe, and so he was already riled up.
Yeah, Zebo did want to get at Blake, and Blake was playing like Blake didn't have none of them monster dunks that game.
No, he didn't.
And these were the years that Blake was dunking on everybody.
Yep.
Zebo,
right after that game, as soon as Player X got in the truck, that's when he got that text. When he came to the truck, said, "Hey man, I just got this text." Yep.
And then when you went to ESPN.com, it says Zach Randolph arrested for minor disturbance. See, what's the one thing about the NBA, people? I'm glad we brought that up. One thing about the NBA is they don't let the real news out. The shit that really goes on, you niggas ain't gonna never know. They control the drama. The real dramatic shit, you niggas will it be fights in locker rooms after games. It be all kinds of shit going on that if it's going to stain the image of the NBA, like Zach Randolph going over and knocking out Kendrick Perkins in the tunnel, that don't look good on the NBA's image. So all you're gonna get on ESPN is there was an altercation, Zach Randolph arrested, and that's it. Story got buried. But we saw it was literally like a half dozen different people got different text messages about the same thing.
Yeah.
Von Crenshaw said, I heard about Perk getting washed. Yeah, that really happened, Von Crenshaw. That really happened, allegedly.
Allegedly. We didn't see it. We were in Los Angeles.
We did not see
it. We did not see it.
We just saw the text messages from people who did see it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Hey man, hey, you know what, D? I hate giving you props on anything that shit irks the shit out of me, but I see what you're doing with the show, dog, and I see how you tying everything up, and I want to give you props, dog. You do all right at this, dog. You're pretty good at this shit, but go ahead, because I know what you're doing right now. But go ahead.
I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that, because we gotta look. There's a learning lesson in everything that happens in the media. We just gotta point that shit out. You know what I mean? They're not gonna tell us. We gotta point that out because it all ties in. It's all ties in. You see how the bottom is rising. You see Draymond speaking up. And that's why I want to salute Draymond. And I want to, and plus I like when you come on, I like telling these stories. Like people in the audience, they've told me that they enjoy these type stories, when we talk about a lot of this shit that we've seen. So, and we got stories.
Well, I'll tell you what, D. How many likes are you at now?
I'm at 298 in the chat room, 193 likes. No, 300 in the chat room now, okay. 195 likes.
Okay, if y'all get him up, if there are 500 likes, then I will tell some stories that I'm not supposed to tell. If y'all get up to 550 likes, I will tell some stories that I'm not supposed to tell. That can probably get me in trouble, but I'll do that because D's my boy.
When we get to the point to where the chat room is getting all the way up there, because we got here, it's some stories. It's some.
No, we both got them. But I'll take the bullet. We both got them. But I'll take the bullet. You don't need to take the bullet. I'll take the bullet because I'm a guest on here. I don't give a fuck. It's your show. But if Dwan gets up to 600 likes, I will tell a story that I'm not supposed to tell on here.
We gonna get there.
and I'll give y'all names. How about that?
Ooh. If we get to 280 likes, Larry will tell one story with no names.
Okay, yeah, thank you, D.
Because we had 228 likes. If we get to 270, he'll tell one story with no names.
You saved me.
Huh?
Okay. I got you. No, go ahead.
Yeah. One story with no names. But it's some dope ass stories. But yeah, man, it's a lot of shit that goes on behind the scenes, man. It's a lot of stuff that goes on. It's like, let's talk about like the vultures that these players face, man. I mean, oh my God. I remember going to All-Star Weekend. I mean, I'll never forget. I was at this one, I'm going to give an example of just one day at All-Star Weekend. Just one day. One day. I'm going to give this one day at All-Star Weekend, New Orleans. I'm going to use New Orleans as an example because New Orleans was the least crowded All-Star Weekend I went to. Why was it the least crowded? Because it was a year and a half after Hurricane Katrina.
Mm-hmm,
2 years. It was like
2
years, something like that, after Hurricane Katrina, a year and a half, something like that.
I thought it was the next year. I thought it was a year after, 2 years. It was 2 years after Katrina. I'm sorry. You're right.
It was like 18 months because Katrina happened in like August, September. And the All-Star Weekend was like in February. So it was like 18 months after Katrina is when that All-Star Weekend was. And it wasn't that crowded. Because a lot of people New Orleans infrastructure was still fucked up. And I remember it would be like, everywhere we went, there were just vultures everywhere. I mean, everywhere you look, vulture. Because cool thing about All-Star Weekend, they got these gifting suites. And if y'all ain't ever been to a gifting suite is the shit. This how the gifting suites at All-Star Weekend work. You go into one of the rooms. I remember walking into a hotel, but as I'm walking into the hotel, it's just like this Armenian dude sitting on the outside, and he got these business cards. He rushes up to me. Hey, yeah, what's up, man? What's up, home? They try to talk they try to talk hip hop. Yo, what's up, man? What's up, player, man? Okay, Hiram. I work for such and such jets. We got these blinged out jets that I know y'all came out here. Y'all probably flew first class. You know what I mean? But you know, you want to get back to LA in style. You wherever you're going in style, we got these first class jets. Here's my business card. Boom, 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 boom. This is how they be. Then you go into the gifting suite, and this is where they're giving you shit. You go to the first table. The first table may be a table full of watches. The cheapest watch on that table is $300.
Mm-hmm.
And you get a watch. Then you pick up something, you put it in your bag. And then inside the gifting suites, it don't be too much selling going on because they more so giving you shit. You get your watch. Then the next table is gonna have like a table full of PlayStation games. You can pick NBA 2K, Madden, and maybe have a couple more games. You'll get that, and then you'll get to the next table. It'll have this one. iPods are still out. It'll have iPod Mini. Get your iPods over here. You basically walk out of the gifting suite with about $3,000 worth of shit. While you're in that suite, it's other people who got up in that suite. I don't know how. And they're at these players. I mean, you got the rental car person that got up in the suite. They're telling you, they're trying to get you to pull to the side to rent these luxury Lamborghinis and bullshit. And then you got the next person. Then it's always some hooker chick that got up in there somehow, who you just think she bad. You think she looking at you. You think you just locking eyes with some chick.
Mm-mm.
Now you start talking to her. She got some other motives. And then you leave the gifting suite. And then you just walk down the street. I mean, now you got people who got the shoe hookup. Now you got the person who has an investment property idea. Now you got someone who's the newest stockbroker who wants the NBA player to put their money with them. I mean, literally, All-Star Weekend in about a 4-hour space that we're out before we go to the dunk contest that night. You literally probably have 150 people come up to you with an idea, with a way for you to spend your money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these motherfuckers is vultures out here, dog. 13 more likes. We're 13 likes away from Larry telling a motherfucking story with nobody's name.
I knew they was gonna jump. I knew the likes were gonna jump, D.
We're 13 likes away from Larry telling a story with nobody's name on it. Give me 13 more likes, people. Go.
Y'all give them 13 more
likes.
A lot of those vultures, like you were talking about specifically All-Star Weekend, but you and I both know that that don't even scratch the surface on how they deal with vultures. We've seen where people will use, oh, we the same religion. Okay, well, and then they will, I've seen people use religion to get money from athletes. Like, hey, we both worship this. We both believe this. Can you loan me $30,000? Can you buy me this? Can you buy me that? And it's, man, I feel that's why these boys get paid so much. Like, they don't get paid for the game. I mean, they do, but they really get paid for the shit they deal with after the game, when the game's over. Because their lives are a lot different. And also, I've been seeing this a lot lately about athletes complaining, because I watched Draymond's video, and then I like to read the comments because I like to troll racists. I like to troll them because, they're going to pop up anytime a black athlete has something to say. And a lot of people say, well, hey, man, if you don't like it, why don't you just get you another job and work with the common man? And I'm like, dog, first and foremost, those guys are overqualified for any job that you and I work. Like, if they even tried to get a job working with me or working with anybody else, they wouldn't be able to get it, dog, because they're overqualified. Stop saying that stupid shit, dog. There's no way LeBron James is going to be able to fill out a fucking application online to UPS and get a job there. It's not going to happen. He's overqualified.
Imagine Draymond Green is somebody's waiter. Oh, shit.
Exactly, dog.
We had 273 likes, man. Give him a story. No names.
All right. No names. All right. So I will give the city. I was in Boston, and it was a week before. It was the week of the last drug test. So it is foggy as hell. It's blunts getting passed around, and everybody's passing. We smoking. It's a good time. It's bad chicks in there. It's everything I've ever dreamt of, dog, because I've never experienced this in my life. And so one of the players who was very instrumental in that team's success was sitting at the table. And I'm smoking, and I pass him a blunt, and he reaches for it. And right before he's about to put it in his mouth, another backup slaps it out of his hand. The music gets cut off. It's a big commotion, and everybody's looking at me. Like, man, what the fuck you doing, man? I was like, oh my God. I felt so bad. But everybody was in there smoking. I'm like, well, dog, I was being friendly. I was passing him the weed. Turns out he didn't need to smoke. They were like, he don't need to smoke. So I'm like, okay, cool. My bad. I apologize. Music gets playing or whatever. I sit down next to the player and I apologize to him. Like, look, dog, I'm so sorry. You know, I wasn't trying to fuck nothing up. He said, man, don't worry about it, man. You know, they trying to look out for me. And as he's talking to me, he's reaching in the backpack and he pulls out, I'm from Houston, okay? But this dude pulls out one of the biggest bottles of syrup I have ever seen in my life. And nobody said anything about him sipping syrup. They were mad at me for passing them weed. And they didn't say anything about him sipping syrup. This is the day before the game. So the next game, the motherfucker had, and I'm not giving out any names, but the guy had 17 points, 18 boards, and 19 assists. I'm not giving out no names, so y'all can figure out who the fuck I'm talking about just on those stats.
After a bottle of lean.
It was about this big. I swear to you, it was huge.
God damn. See, it be all kind, and then still went out and gave him buckets.
Say, man, I've always said that athletes are mutants because all mutants do is recover faster than regular humans. Like, these guys would tear a whole knee and be back on the court in 9 months. They're literally mutants. They're modern day mutants.
I've seen a certain Philadelphia 76ers legend. Well, I ain't got to say no names. I can say names.
He ain't playing.
He ain't playing. Yeah, he ain't playing no more. I've seen AI literally get carried out from drinking and go and put up 47 the next night. Like, I mean, one of the games won the first half, he probably only had, 11 points in the first half. Not kind of, but then halftime comes, the nigga shake that shit off, nigga drop 40 in the second half. I've seen that shit. Literally getting carried out to like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Tasha, what's up, Tasha? Tasha in the chat room. She said, "What's up, Larry?"
Hey, Tasha.
Tasha said, "Tell some basketball wives stories too." Tasha, you funny? Cause
Tasha, no, Tasha.
I remember. I used to come home.
I'll tell one. But go ahead. You go ahead, D. What?
I'm saying for Tasha, I used to come home from some of these games, and I would call Tasha and tell her some of the shit that I just seen. That's why she's telling some of these stories.
I'm gonna tell a story. I'll tell a story. All right. So, even though I have on this hat and everything, I'm an extremely handsome dude. Like, I get hoes. I get them. I've always got them. So I have a certain level. I'm not conceited, but I know I can get hoes. So me and Dwan's an ugly fat motherfucker. So, and we're the best of friends. We're always together, and we walk into a game, a Clippers game. And I look and I was like, oh my God, because Dwan don't know anybody. He don't keep up with pop culture at all. He don't know any of these people. So I look across like the room, the arena, and I see a familiar face. I'm like, okay. And we're walking closer, and it's Khloe Kardashian, Kris Jenner, and Kylie and Kendall. They were young. They were kids. And so we were walking, and Khloe was staring. I'm like, shit, this bitch staring at me. I know she's staring at me because I'm handsome. That's one game. Another home game, walk in, same thing. Khloe staring at us. I'm like, I'm calling all my boys like, man, hey man, Khloe want to give me some pussy. Oh, fuck Lamar, dog. Khloe be staring at me. Probably about the fourth or fifth home game. We're walking in. And Khloe gets up out of her seat. She used to speak to us all the time. She gets up out of her seat, and I was like, shit, Khloe's gonna come holler at me. Dog. She says hi and gets in Dwan's bitch ass face and talk to him And I'm looking at him like, wait a minute, dog.
I forgot about that.
I'm like, wait a minute, this bitch like DeWan. And then after that, it became apparent. I'm like, dog, how the fuck you married to Lamar Odom, but you got a crush on a fat nigga? Like, you got a crush on the smash down. If a Giant stepped on Lamar Odom, he would be DeWan. Like, but she used to stare at DeWan every home game. That shit pissed me off.
Hey, Khloe Kardashian, that was my nigga for a season. For real. But you're right. When Khloe would talk to me, she used to look me dead in my eyes.
And that shit used to piss me off. I'm like, dog, this is bullshit, dog. Why the bitch don't like me?
Hey, and it would be funny that season, because that season, the wives, it was an interesting dynamic in the locker room, because you had Grant Hill was still playing, so he had Tamia, a real star, and Tamia never came in the friends and family room.
Dog, never.
She would sit her ass if she came to a game. If she came to a game, if she was waiting on Grant, she stayed her ass in the hallway. She never came inside that room. But Khloe was there. Kim Kardashian will come sometime, and Kim will come with Kanye.
Yep.
Kim, when they marriage was still kind of new. Kim came a few times by herself, but she brought Kanye like twice.
For big games.
Gloria and Matt Barnes were still together, and that whole basketball wives thing was going on. Mm-hmm. Gloria and Matt were still together. This before Matt beat Derek Fisher's ass.
Mm-hmm. As he should have.
And then this is when Chris Paul had his son. Remember his son was doing that Blake face that everybody fucking adored?
Yeah.
And you saw all these grown-ass fucking men kissing this little 4-year-old kid's ass. That shit was right there was sickening.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, that was Tasha said bring up the friends and family was right. After some of these games, I would call Tasha and be like, "Yo, this shit, this shit crazy," because you would see the dynamics between the women, and it was like whoever the best players was, his wife in all NBA locker room dynamics was always head honcho.
The queen, she's the queen.
She's the queen bee She's the queen bee of all the women. Whoever the highest paid player is that's married, absolutely, that's queen bee of the women.
Yep.
And when she talks, all the other girls in the locker room, in the friends and family room, listen.
Yep.
They all kind of look alike. They all gonna be brown skin. You know, a little bump on the titties, a little bump on the booty, not too much on either one. Slender waist, long hair. You can take one head off and put them on the other. You won't know the difference.
Yeah, I remember usually light brown to racially ambiguous.
Yes,
that's where yeah.
Light brown to racially ambiguous. And it was funny too, like when I would bring my wife to the game. Well, Isha was my girlfriend at the time. She's my wife now. But I would bring her to some of the games. I remember one of the games, she was like, "What kind of Stepford shit is going on in here? Why all these niggas girls look the same?"
Mm-hmm.
But then, you know, so CP, his wife was the head honcho. And Jada was cool.
You know, motherfucker.
Chris Paul's wife.
Like she dressed like us going to the game.
I have nothing but respect for that woman. And his wife, and she had a colder Jordan connection. She had Chris Paul's wife, Jada, had a colder Jordan shoe game than any of you niggas watching. I guarantee.
Man, listen. I'm like, damn, Jada, how you get those? And she's like, oh, I got a plug. Man.
But Jada was head honcho on that. But Jada wasn't really on the bullshit. Even though she was head honcho, you could tell she played the role, but she wasn't really feeling it. And it's funny too, because when Isha would come in, Jada would be the main one that you would make eye contact with, like what's up, and then you know, and that it was the rest of them. But then when Khloe came in, because Khloe Kardashian wasn't at every game, Khloe would be at maybe 1 out of every 5 games, 1 out of every 6 games she'd be at, 1 out of every 5. And when she came in, all the other women bowed down, and I hated seeing that shit. Like, why y'all bowing down to her?
That season was different though, and I'm gonna make you remember this because she was at maybe the first 5 or 6 home games. And then we didn't see her again until after the All-Star break.
Yeah.
You want to know why? You remember that? It's because that was when she got that surgery. Because she came back after the All-Star break and she was like, damn, when she get fine? Why? She was built like a dorm room refrigerator the first half of the season.
She was built like a 40-ounce.
Exactly. And then after the All-Star game, she was shapely. I'm like, damn, she been working out. No, she had that surgery.
And I'm gonna
That's
tell
why
y'all,
we didn't see her a lot.
and let me tell y'all something, Dwan. I am not down with the swirl, but hey, in person on TV, hey, Chloe looking fine as hell in person. I don't give it. TV didn't give her no justice when she had that surgery. In person, like you would see her in person, and then you would see her on camera and be like, it looked like 2 different bitches.
Mm-hmm.
The Chloe on camera is trash.
Mm-hmm.
The Chloe on camera is trash. But in person, it'd be like, God damn.
Yeah, shit, I get with her.
But I would.
Maybe.
People in chat were like, no, I wasn't trying. I was not trying to get. I was
man.
engaged to my now wife back then. I wasn't tripping on none of them.
I can attest to that. He was not.
Yeah, I wasn't fucking with none of that. Like, look, my wife, even to this day, she was with me when I remember Larry. I used to get. I'd be at the clubs at 4 a.m. 6 out of 7 nights a week.
Mm-hmm.
My wife, man, she'd be right there. I would be at her house. I would leave her house at 11 o'clock to go to the club. And then I would still come back afterwards. But, you know what I mean? So all that NBA, all them chicks, don't none of that shit impress a nigga who know what a real woman is.
And not trying to say that all of them aren't real women, but a good portion of them aren't. a good portion of them are not. Are not. And I'm gonna prove to you. This is how you know. Whenever one divorces one player and marries another one.
I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna try to get to Kamala Harris. I might get to her. I might not. We on this vibe. If we don't get to Kamala Harris, I'll retitle the show. But speaking of that, chicks marrying another. I'll never forget, and I will say this name. This because it's really insignificant now. We spent them games. Larry talking about me and Khloe Kardashian looking at me. We used to hang out with Gloria, and I remember Gloria used to come to you. What was at that restaurant? And she was like, "So what? Wasn't Gloria throwing you the pussy?"
Well, no, let's not say that. Let's not say throwing. Let's not say that. But it was. She wasn't throwing nothing at me, but it was. I was made to feel uncomfortable, and I was made to feel uncomfortable.
Because Matt's our nigga. You weren't gonna. You ain't no slime ball nigga like that.
No. But I was made. I'll just say this because Matt might grow wild hair and drive to Houston and beat me up. I was made to feel uncomfortable by a married woman, and it was obvious. Everybody saw it. It was strange, very strange. That's all I'm going to say.
It was very. It was in front of her sister and everybody.
Yeah, it was very strange.
And her sister was married to another NBA nigga at the time.
No, they had gotten. No, that you're right.
No, she was married to Gilbert Arenas.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I forgot.
At that time.
At that time. Because I remember we all went to Legoland together. You're right. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm telling y'all right now, no, Gloria is not trash in person. I don't know how she's on TV. I don't watch TV. In person, Gloria is not trash.
Hey, let me tell you something. In person, because I'd see her at games. She used to be at the house on Saturday mornings with old buddy's wife. Man, look, I don't know what kind of TV y'all got. I don't know what kind of taste y'all got. But she ain't trash. Not physically.
Physically.
Now between the ears, but physically, absolutely not.
And
not at all.
I will say this: out of all of the wives, I will say me and Gloria were probably the coolest.
No, you won't. No, you won't. I'm gonna correct you.
Me and Gloria would talk the most.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Willie Green's wife.
Oh yeah, Willie Green's wife. Yeah.
She was the coolest, and we talked to her, and she was always on that real shit.
Yeah, Willie Green wife. Yeah, and they had that good ass son, well behaved ass kid.
I'm like, dog, why? Yeah, get your well behaved, respectful ass. We used to clown him. Like, why are you so well behaved? Act like your dad is rich.
Act like the rest of these little snot nosed kids running right here with rich daddies, fucking everything up. Willie Green had respectful children.
Oh man, yeah. Well, the twins were Isaiah and Carter. They were good too.
Isaiah and Carter were good, but I will say out of all the wife, yeah, you're right. I talked to Willie Green's wife the most, but Gloria is probably who I talked. Me and Gloria talked a lot. Me and Gloria was mad cool. I ain't got nothing but love for Gloria, but I see the game for what it is. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I see the game for what it is. That's why, I would look at these NBA dudes, but when we go to the clubs, we see them out there. We knew which women was which. And these niggas a steady fall from. I mean, I would look at when you would look at a lot of these NBA dudes, and you would go into the Staples Center tunnel after the game. If one nigga had a matte blue Rolls Royce, next week somebody comes in with a matte red Rolls Royce.
Yep. I'll tell another one. Y'all remember Mario Chalmers?
Yeah.
The one game. So I used to walk in with the wives, and anybody who didn't know me probably thought I was either the gay homeboy or a player, because I used to walk in like when the game would start, I would walk in with 5 beautiful women. And so one game it was me, old buddy's wife, Gloria, what's Gloria's sister's name? I forget. Laura, and Drea Michelle. Remember Drea?
Yeah.
Drea Michelle. Okay. And so we all walked in together, and they were playing against the Heat. And Mario Chalmers I'm talking about during the game, every time he scored a bucket, every time he did anything, he would look up at Drea. Before the game, he was shooting around. He stopped what he was doing. It was like, hey, man, hey. He was talking to me. Hey, get her. Hey, get Drea. And I kind of tapped Drea on the shoulder. She turned around. She was like, pfft. He tried to holler the whole game, dog. He had a shitty game, dog, for trying to impress her. I'm like, dog, you're a millionaire. Why are you trying to impress this reality TV bitch? Like, what are you doing?
Somebody asked me in the chat room, how was Crawford? Like, Jamal Crawford's my nigga. Jamal Crawford's somebody I met back in I knew him in middle school. He was raised in Seattle, but he lived here in LA for about 6 or 7 years. And when he lived here in LA, me and Jamal Crawford actually went to the same church. Jamal Crawford is who when Biggie got shot, I found, you know where you were when you hear some historic shit. Mm-hmm. This before the internet was a thing. And our church where we were was maybe about 2 miles from where Biggie was killed. 2 miles max.
It
we were on a
Sunday, D. It was on a Sunday.
It was a Saturday night when Biggie got shot, Sunday morning.
Yep.
And our church, if we was off Adams, but Fairfax was right there. And then you go another, Fairfax was a half mile down Adams. Another 2 miles up, another 1.5 miles up from Adams is Wilshire. And that's where Biggie got shot. So we were like right in the area. And it was when Jamal Crawford, it was one of the kids, we supposed to be in Sunday school at church. We supposed to be in youth service. But one of the kids stayed out in mom's car and it was like, hey, Biggie got shot. And then Jamal Crawford came in and was like, hey man, come out to Alan's car. And we listening to 92.3 The Beat. And them talk about Biggie Smalls getting shot and killed 1.5 miles, 2 miles from where we were. That was Jamal Crawford was my nigga in middle school. And I remember him back then. He used to always, when we used to be in church, remember how they used to always go around, what do you want to be when you grow up? Jamal would be like, play basketball. Well, Jamal, you got to have a backup plan. Playing basketball. Well, Jamal, what are you going to do? Play basketball. We was at youth camp at church. The camp was probably, the elevation was over 5,000 feet. Couldn't breathe for shit. Where was Jamal Crawford? On the basketball court. And it was crazy because I lost contact with Jamal Crawford for years. And we got back in contact that year with the Clippers when he was on the Clippers. And I'll tell y'all this. Jamal Crawford is somebody who never went out. We didn't go out every night with the Clippers, but we went out 85% of the times they was in the club.
Yep.
Did we ever see Jamal Crawford?
Never. He wouldn't even hang around in the friends and family room for too long. He'd come in, speak, because remember his wife had just had the baby. And he'd speak, and he'd do like that, and he'd walk out. We wouldn't see him till like the next game. We never saw him out.
Yeah, Crawford was a good, solid dude. Shouts out to Jamal Crawford.
Man.
But yeah, man. But yeah, it's just but yeah. But I want to round this all up into, you know, I like to talk about, again, I'm going to get back on topic. We're talking about Draymond Green checking the NBA and how you're starting to see people on the bottom rise up. You're starting to see things, the social order be changed. I want to make it a cautionary tale because part of that is America's trying to change the social order on top. You see Kamala. A lot of people voted in Kamala under being black. I want to point out this tweet here that we're going to get back. But I want to point this tweet from Kamala Harris. Hate crimes and violence against Asian Americans and Asian immigrants have skyrocketed during the pandemic. That's why our administration is taking actions to address these xenophobic attacks. We must continue to commit ourselves to combating racism and discrimination. Dr. Claude Anderson told us years ago, back in the 90s, that they're going to change the conversation from white and black to white and everybody else so that they never have to deal with the issue of white and black here in America. He told us that in Black Labor, White Wealth. He told us that in Powernomics, and here we are right now with Kamala Harris. Singling out a specific group that she says has been targeted for discrimination. The thing, Larry, the issue I have with this is this. In this corona pandemic, it's a lot of poor people. A lot of people going broke right now. A lot of people getting fucked up. And what happens when people get fucked up? They start kind of robbing people, right?
Yeah, they get desperate. Yeah, desperate times call for desperate measures.
So crime overall is going up. A lot of Asians make their money in the ghetto, whether it be the ghettos of LA, the ghettos of Houston, the ghettos of Louisiana, the ghettos of New York. Where there's a ghetto, you can see an Asian selling some shit. So if people who are hungry and desperate in the ghetto are going to go after somebody, they're going to rob people. And if an Asian happens to be there to be a victim, that's unfortunate. I ain't trying to see nobody get robbed. I'm not trying to justify, crime. But we have a crime issue going on here, and we have a vice president that's trying to solo out a specific group as if they're any more targeted than any other group. She didn't give any statistics. She didn't say this is going on, that's going on. She didn't do a comparative analysis of the Asians being targeted versus Russians versus Jews versus Mexicans versus black. She didn't give none of that. She just said, hey, look, the people my mama's side come from being fucked up, and all you motherfuckers better acquiesce and fall in line so we can basically restructure this social order and make it a permanent ironclad thing that all of these other groups, starting with Asians, get specific minority benefits that you niggas fought for, that we're going to change the conversation from and now start passing out to other people. Larry, you in Texas around all the voteps who voted for Kamala, the Soars, all the ski-wee chicks.
I mean,
what do you think
everywhere.
about this shit?
I watched the video this morning because I wanted to watch it in its entirety. That clip because people just cut that small clip of her saying, "Am I going to do something specifically for black people?" No, and the way she said it was like she was pissed off. So I watched that in its entirety. And the reason why she said she wasn't going to do that is because there were going to be tax cuts and all kind of other bullshit that were not going to only benefit black people, but benefit Americans. Okay. But then she tweaks that shit and says that they have to do something about this violence against Asians and all this shit. But she doesn't point out, like she says they're going to do something specifically for them, but she doesn't point out how it benefits everybody in America like she did the same way when it came to reparations talk. So I'm like, okay, so what are we doing? Like, what are we, like, Master Joe said the African Americans got them in office and he was never going to forget about him. Joe, we here. Like, what are y'all doing? We got y'all in office.
Exactly.
What are y'all gonna do for us? We put y'all there. What are y'all gonna do for us? Nothing.
And that's what's going on right now. People, the Votep said, we look. I want people on this very show. Y'all can go back and watch the videos. I said if the Democrats get in office, we're gonna have to worry about everybody. Because at least when Trump is in office, we really only had to worry about rednecks, and they're obvious. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now we got to really look at everybody, all of the minority coalitions that we talked about. We got to start looking at all of them. And what we see with Kamala is a reorganization and a restructuring of the social order, and it's happening right here in front of us in real time. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to win, that they're going to be successful. The only way it cannot be successful is if those of us that see what's going on speak up and say something about it. We must be a loud echo chamber. For those of you listening, yeah, like I was listening to Jason Black did a dope breakdown on Kamala Harris's tweet. I heard Tariq talk about it a little bit. Professor Black Truth talk about it a little bit, and we all need to keep these conversations going, because as we talk, as we get this out, we have power. We got to remember, as people, we have control over our narrative. We didn't back in the day that Jet Magazine and Ebony controlled it, but we got the fucking internet now. And so since we got the internet, we have the ability to control our narrative. And we have to all speak up and be very loud about other groups coming in, taking these laws, these civil rights laws that our grandparents fought for, and putting it on themselves after they chose to come here by choice. Again, chose to come here by choice. And they're getting some residual crime because they're in a high crime area. Because what's going to happen is, as they create these new laws, they never create new laws for us. You ever notice that, Larry? I mean, they only create new laws for us. Like, white men are never... Why is it white men are never affected by the new criminal laws that they create, but white men benefit the most from the new laws that put money in people's pockets?
Yep.
And so I think that's something that we have to be aware of. Oh, this is why I brought that up. I saw. I'm being a little messy here. I don't give a fuck. I saw Tony Baker put up a tweet, and he took it down. And it was an Instagram post, and we know Tony. Shouts out to Tony Baker. He cool. We met Tony Baker early on in our comedy. You know, we know Tony. I don't know him like that, but you know, been around him a fair amount of times. And he put up a tweet basically co-signing this black people. Basically, the Asians need to stop. People need to stop discriminating against Asians narrative. And the internet told him a new asshole.
They did?
The internet told him a new asshole. Whoa. And he had to take it down. Then he ended up putting up another post talking about how that it's a damn shame I'm going to speak my mind and people going to say something bad about me. And I want to talk about that for a little bit, because when I saw those responses to his tweet, I saw, again, a reshuffling of the deck. The people speaking up. The people coming out and telling them. See, back in the day, if you had a certain amount of followers, if you're a certain level of celebrity, you could say whatever you wanted to say. And any black person that spoke up against what you said, the rest of black society would be like, why are you talking shit about Jay-Z? Why are you talking shit about Queen Beyonce? What the fuck have you done for the black community? Now we starting to see the people wising up. And they starting to check the celebrity. Like, hold on, nigga. Black people ain't doing. Asians ain't seeing shit that we don't see on any Tuesday morning before 6 a.m. The fuck you doing? What I'm starting to see is the go along, and I'm not calling Tony Baker this. This is not calling him directly this at all. No, I'm not calling him this. But I'm talking about a type of American. The go along to get along Negro is starting to become an unpopular person. You noticing that?
Absolutely.
What are some of your thoughts on on people now starting to speak up when you see these go along to get along niggas say things to big.
Oh, man, I thought something was going on. What happened?
Okay, yeah, no,
can you
the
hear me?
shit froze. We back. We froze. It froze. We back
Okay,
now.
boy,
It was going right into when you were starting.
Oh, okay. Well, first, like I said, I ain't never been no go along to get along Negro. You've met my parents. I love seeing it. Now, before it was like, oh, we can't say anything about him. We can't criticize him because he's famous and he sold this many records. And he's got 4 million followers and all that. Nah, man. If you're wrong, it don't matter how many records you've sold, how much money you got, how many followers you got. None of that shit matters. If you wrong, you wrong. And I love it because it's showing that, hey, I don't give a fuck that you in the public eye, nigga. You better get on code or we're gonna stop fucking with you. That's where this whole thing is going, and I love it. That's all we need to do is be on code. We don't necessarily have to come together as a whole, because that ain't gonna never happen. Let's just be on code.
Yeah, people think coming together mean everybody liking everybody. Everybody ain't gonna like everybody.
Nah,
It's a
man.
lot. Look, it's cool with saying, hey, I don't like this. I don't like that person. I don't like this personality. I don't like this food. I don't like the city. I don't like that weather. That's fine. When you realize you don't like something, that's a beautiful thing. Because now you have the option of staying far, 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 far away from the things that you don't like and gravitate closer, closer, closer to the things that you do like. So, ain't nothing wrong with, you only got time for so many people in your life anyway. So you're not gonna like everybody. But as long as you on code with me, I'm cool with whatever you doing. And what happened was we started to see when celebrity online media or celebrity media people say comments black that are off code. We're starting to see black society step up and put these people on code. Again, that's black society stepping up. Look, like I said, all my programs always come full circle. I'm a motherfucking teacher. Right? I don't just run my goddamn mouth to talk. All this shit got lessons in it. We started off talking about Draymond Green speaking up for himself. Someone with a position of quote unquote leadership. I hate that word, but someone with who's in the spotlight. Somebody who's high profile. We saw them speaking up for the other high profile players who are still on the bottom of the NBA pyramid. They're put over to the top of us. But as far as the NBA hierarchy goes, they're on the bottom of that. We're starting to see them say, fuck this bottom position. Let me stand up for myself. And now we're starting to see the grassroots. Well, before that, the grassroots was actually before Draymond felt empowered to say what he said, because over the last year and a half or so, 2 years, the grassroots, regular black folks ain't been allowing these celebrities to just fucking talk without us checking them. You know what I mean? I be seeing every time D.L. Hewley or Michael Basin say some shit on Facebook Live, on their Facebook, that's down the middle to still appease white daddy, you read the comments, and niggas is on their ass. So I'm saying this to say, black folks in the chat room, y'all be the main ones. Keep doing what the fuck y'all do. Chat room, keep doing what y'all do. When y'all see these people out here breaking code, talking shit, it's our job to check these celebrities, because society has put these bum ass celebrities in as spokespeople for us. All right, cool. Y'all gonna put them as spokespeople for us? We gonna get them motherfuckers speaking the message that we want them to speak. And that's the power that we possess as a people. So if we keep doing what the fuck we did to these people doing that are co-signing, that are breaking code, if we keep doing that, we gonna be good.
Yep. Yes, sir.
We are going to be good. We have to keep our foot on their neck.
And I'm gonna tell you something else. See, I gave you props for something. You did something that I don't even think you knew you did, dog. So, a lot of people say, fuck the NFL because they racist. The NFL's racist. They racist. I'm not fooling with them. The NBA, though, they'll let us put Black Lives Matter, and they let us put some old bullshit ass shit on our jersey in the bubble. And so people hold one up here and don't fuck with the other one down here. And I don't think you knew what you were doing with this show. This is the way I looked at it. And then you went from that, criticizing the NBA, to criticizing the left the same way, like, oh, Republicans, they racist, they stormed the Capitol building, but Democrats, they dog, they're all the same. They're different size. They all the same. And that I don't know if you know that you were doing that with this show, but that's what I got from it. Like, okay, y'all think this is so much better. Let me break this shit down for y'all so y'all can see it for what it really is. That's what I was talking about when I said, I see what you're doing. Because you did. That's what I was talking about. You tied it all together, but you tied it all together in another way you probably didn't even realize you were doing.
Yeah, I didn't. But
yeah.
Because I'm just trying to point out what the fuck, is going on and how we are. Like, we always talk about what black people ain't doing. We doing it right now. We just got to keep it going. Like, the road, black folks, we are on the right road. Like, if we're driving from LA to New York, no, we're not in New York yet.
Nope.
But we out of California. We were still in California in 2012. We passed Nevada. We on the road. All we got to do is keep our foot on the gas and we'll get there. It don't happen overnight. Because in 2012, Tony Baker could have said what he said and everybody would have been like, nah. Michael Bazin could keep cooning on Facebook and D.L. Hewley with their liberal version of cooning. And back in 2012, most black people would have been like, nah. You know what I mean? Now niggas is like, no, hold the fuck up, nigga. You wearing my uniform. You don't speak for me, motherfucker. So if you gonna say that, we gonna light your comments up. So if anybody reading your bullshit reads it, they gonna look into these comments and see 10,000 niggas calling you a motherfucking jackass. Because as we keep applying that pressure on them, celebrities are hoes, man. They just want to be popular. They just want to be liked. They'll stop because they're not liked anymore. These some shallow motherfuckers. We ain't gotta accept what half these motherfuckers dropped their drawers and bent over for their job anyway. The dudes too.
Talk about it.
And you're right, Larry. Cause y'all know I stopped talking about I stopped watching football and I still watch the NBA basketball. I ain't gonna sit here and act like NBA racism is any less than NFL racism. I just hated the way the NFL talked to me. That's why I stopped watching them. And I hate the fact that, goddamn, I just really started looking. I used to play football. Why every 5 minutes I'm watching the game, somebody's laid out on the field with something that's gonna fuck up the rest of it's gonna fuck up the way they walk or the way they think the rest of their life. And I keep watching it. I'm like, and on top of that, it was like, whatever. It was my decision to keep watching basketball because I love the chess match that basketball is. But I'm not going to be no fool and put one above the other. They all a bunch of retarded jackasses. They ain't shit. They ain't got our best interests at heart. And I wish black people will start putting kids more back into the sciences than all these fucking sports.
Amen. Yep.
Peace from Niagara Falls, Delano L. Three-dimensional thinking. That's right. Trev, what's up, Trev? What's up, the Dr. Sinister? Unsunk, what's up, Lorenzo Wright? Yeah, we got a lot of people up in this chat room. What's up, my manifesto? Somebody said Tony should stick to voiceovers. Yeah. Like, I'm not doing this to overly pile on Tony Baker, but I think Tony Baker realized now, God damn it, you want to speak up, you better use your voice for black people. Because I'm here in LA when Under Sheriff Paul Tanaka, Asian, was one of the leaders of the Vikings gang, internal gang here in the LA County Sheriff Department. I did a whole breakdown on that a couple weeks ago on this same channel about a month ago. Look at my breakdown of the LA County Sheriff. Ain't no black gangs targeting Asians within police department or outside on the street gangs.
Hey man, give me some statistics, give me some proof, and I believe you. It wasn't no number with a percent sign. It wasn't anything on that tweet. It was just, hey y'all, this is what's happening and we gonna stop it. And furthermore, this gonna sound fucked up. Shouldn't nobody be whooping on nobody. But Asians shouldn't be whooping black women at beauty supply stores either.
Nigga.
See now, we nobody brought that up. Like, I've seen more clips of Asian people beating up black people than I have seen the other way. But you
Yeah,
expect
it
me
was
to believe that we're just randomly beating up Asian people? No.
I
Don't
saw
believe
one a
it.
couple days ago. It was somewhere. I think it was in Georgia. I don't know where it was, but it was at a fast food joint. And the Asian shop owner got mad at something the black woman did, black employee, and he hit her. They recorded it, and he hit her on camera.
Mm-hmm. I know what to say. I saw that clip. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. That was, somebody said we need to use the internet as a town hall against these black celebs. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's a good one.
It can happen.
Yeah, they trying to set us up. You right, Nikki, in the chat room? They trying to set us up. So we got to see this. The only way out of this is black people sticking together and on one another. And if it's someone from out, and like I said before, we can talk like this. And feel free to talk black, people. Feel free to say black. Don't be scared of this shit. Fuck it. What the fuck they gonna do when you? They're not gonna talk about black and brown.
And people of color and all that, man. I say black people. Because that's what the fuck it is. It's black people.
And I'm gonna tell you another reason why. Look, if somebody gets offended at you speaking up for only your group, that shows you how little respect they have for you and your group. Because they damn sure speak up for theirs. So the people from other races who are secure within themselves, they have no issues with black people talking black. Matter of fact, that's one way you can find out who is who.
Yep.
If they're around you and you talk black and they don't try to shift what you say and they spend their time going back and talking shit to their society about how their society needs to change, how they interact with us, and they leave you be, you probably got a rider next to you. But if you got someone that knows all the Eminem songs with you, they can tell you all the dopest hip-hop hooks. They wear the Jordans, talk black. But every time you talk black, they want to talk about, well, you know Latinos, well, you know Asians, well, you know this. That's somebody who has a major insecurity with blackness.
And you need to get the fuck from around them.
Until they solve it. You can't be the holy Negro that's going to solve everybody's problems. Nope. Some people you got to step back the fuck away from and let them solve it while you go back and be around other black people on code, nigga.
Absolutely.
So yeah, man, we've been here almost 2 hours, man. I know you ain't got shit to do because you snowed in, and I gotta head off to Craig Facts in a little bit. So tell these motherfuckers where they can find you, or give me your closing thoughts, man. Whatever the fuck you want to say, then tell them where they can find you.
Closing thoughts, man. Fuck Dwan. That's pretty much all I have right now. We've covered everything that I've been thinking about. Fuck Dwan. Y'all continue to watch Hotepish. Continue to support him. Get your hoodies. Get all that stuff from him. Closing thoughts, man. Y'all just stay black. Stay fucking black and stay black and stay on code. And you can find me on Instagram, Larry_Goodwell, Facebook, Larry Anthony Goodwell, Twitter @Larry Goodwell. And next Saturday, the L Goody Game Show will be making its. We've been on hiatus, but we're coming back next Saturday. The L Goody Game Show. You can find me on YouTube and Facebook.
Cool. Yeah, y'all can find me here at hotepish.com. Get your t-shirts, get your merchandise. Also, like I said, my relationship, my happy relationship meetups is coming up pretty soon. You want to have happier, more fulfilling relationships, whether that be interpersonal relationships, relationships with friends, relationships with family, relationship between parent and child, husband and wife. It's all comes down to the same shit, communication. How you talk to people, how you receive what's being told to you. I'm putting my professional expertise out here on the internet for the first time. There's some shit I've always done here in LA locally. I've had lots of clients, had a lot of success. Now I'm bringing this shit online to help people talk out their communication issues. Help me out in the chat room. Email me at hotepish@gmail.com with your suggestions. I'm thinking about doing maybe a relationship Wednesdays or one day a week on this channel that I talk about it. And then for more intense stuff, we're going to have my Patreon, or we're going to have a subscription service for the more intense one-on-one service. Because like I said, I've solved this dynamic between literally thousands of families. The internet was always what I came to do for fun. So I'm bringing my business to the internet. And so for those of you interested, email hotepish@gmail.com or my company website, info@breakthroughas.org, to let me know if you have any questions, anything you want me to address in these conversations. Email me at one of those websites, and we're gonna get it in, because we're not gonna go nowhere without each other. We're not gonna go anywhere without the family unit. I don't care what your sexual preference is. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care if you were bullied in high school. I'm a coach. I don't deal with the past. Go seek therapy to fix your past. We're about getting our communication shit on code, locked in order, so we can move forward as a people. So I'm lending my expertise online. So email me, let me know which day works that you guys want, because I do want to do a free service. But yes, no, the more intense shit will be paid. I'm not gonna do all this shit for free, niggas. A lot of times people like, man, you speak to the community. You need to do it for free, or you're hustling the people. No, nigga.
Nah, man.
All the money I spent on my college degree, I paid my college degree, goddammit, in cash, motherfucker. If you didn't put in on that bill, you ain't got shit to say about what I charged. You feel me? So yeah, we're gonna have all that going on. She said do matchmaking next. I can't. Actually, I'm going to do matchmaking. I will do, because I have matchmaking tools that I do. I will do an event on my on the service once I get the website back up. No, nigga, I am not gonna do no. God, this nigga said about turning to Kevin Samuels. No, I'm not doing no Kevin Samuels shit. I can't. If you single and looking for somebody, I will do matchmaking events, but that ain't necessarily my expertise, nigga. Like, that's not necessarily my expertise. Is once you're with somebody, learning how to talk to their asses so you keep them.
Yeah, you can't be Kevin Samuels. It'd be hypocritical of you to call somebody else fat.
Man, I'll beat your ass though, nigga.
No,
nigga,
that ain't gonna
I uppercut you, dog, and knock that hat in Spain, nigga, where it belongs.
No, that ain't finna happen. You smile too much, dog. I'm looking at your profile picture. You smiling right now. Get your big happy ass out of here, dog. You ain't tough.
Nigga, your beard look like that former wrestler, Mankind. His hair, that's how your beard look, nigga.
All right, Kamala.
The real Kamala?
The real Kamala. That's who you could, if they ever make a movie about Kamala, dog, and you don't get that role, dog, that's a travesty. That's a travesty, because you look just like him and you build like him. All you need is the moon on your stomach and some face paint.
Nigga, you look like you raised pet chimpanzees in Egypt, nigga.
Fuck
nigga,
you.
Nigga, Larry's a chimpanzee breeder, nigga. Michael Jackson came to you to buy bubbles.
Fuck you, fat boy.
Fucking camel.
I got my phone on landscape right now, and it's leaning on one side. Guess which side it's leaning to? Yours.
Yeah, because I'm a heavy nigga, man. You lightweight bitch ass niggas can't hold shit down. You can't even hold a phone down.
Yeah, okay. I can hold this gun though. I can do that. How about that?
You look like you about to rob a kebab factory in Dubai, nigga.
Fuck you, Buddha Brown. Fuck you, Buddha Brown.
Shit, fuck you.
You gonna give an instructional video on how to wreck a buffet table. That's gonna be your next thing you do online, bitch.
Hey, for those of you who don't know, man, Larry came to America on the run because
you bitch.
Because Larry was a camel jockey back in Arabia, and he defrauded a very famous prince in Dubai over a fixed camel race that nigga won when he was supposed to lose. So that's why he's in Los Angeles. The nigga's real name is
Hey, that's an excellent movie idea, dog. I like that. Yeah, you ain't just full of shit. You full of some good ideas, bitch.
I still beat your ass though.
Whatever, nigga.
Well, yeah, we about to get out of here. Remember this: there are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages for those who are willing to listen and pick up game. We had a dope story for y'all today. Draymond Green, Kamala Harris, the life lessons we get out of that, and how those of us on the bottom have a voice and they can shake up the shit on the top when we decide to use it. Everybody out there, when y'all see these celebrities breaking code, rate their Twitter, rate their Facebook, speak up, speak up, speak up. Don't let these sorry motherfuckers throw us under a bus in a vacuum. Check these hoe ass niggas. My name is Dwan B. We out.
Peace.